just waiting for the rookie to get just his place. Go, mate.
Correction on the lap record, it's a 34. Josh Harvey just messaged me, we still need to correct that one.
All right, well, Josh, can you send that to me, mate? Because I'll tell me what date and time and everything like that, and I'll re-correct it next time. Away we go then. It is Morgan who's going to get the jump there. Clinton Woods away well. Andy Daniel, there we go, around the outside of Corey Smith. And it looks like Clinton Woods made a good start, looking good for his first battle. Andy Daniel slots into the third, but somebody go around the outside of him. Couldn't quite see who that was, but the leaders are up. It looks like Morgan's got the jump, but you'll have to call the rest in a second, buddy.
Yeah, Morgan had it initially, but it's now Clinton Wood who's gone up the inside for Charlie's 2 there. So Clinton Wood ahead of Morgan Creasy, Tyler Donovan, and ahead of, is that the 168 machine of Ian Ashby, who's up in the 4th place there. Where was Ian on the grid, Keith?
Mate, he was down in 13th place.
He's up in the 4th.
Places. Wow, that's flying.
Yeah, he's up in the 4th place, and Ian Ashby on what I suspect is not the most popular bike in this class. It's a Triumph 955.
As number one variety.
Yeah, Sean Goldsmith on the ZX7R Kawasaki is having a few issues. He goes down the back straight here. Somebody's sitting up in around about 4th or 5th place there, but looks as though it's all under control. So, the running order then, it is Clinton Wood, Morgan Creasy ahead of Tyler Donovan, who's having a look at the inside. No opportunity there. Ahead of Ian Ashby, Andy Friend, Connor Swire ahead of Jamie Thomas, and then it's Andy Denyer. But it looks like, is that someone going up the inside of Morgan there? It was. So a change of 2nd place as, your race leader then making their way in towards the bottom of the mountain, but it's all chopping and changing.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. This result's going to be harder to pick than a broken nose. It really is. They work the bottom of the mountain, and we'll have to wait and see who's going to have some sort of advantage. Certainly no great advantage at the front, because the top guy's going to be top 8 bikes that just gone through the woodland section, pretty much nose to tail. Obviously, it's going to be a case of tyre attrition as well, so that we could see 2 completely different results in the first half and the second half, because this is still a, I think it's an 11-lap race, to be fair. But we'll wait and see. A bit of a chatter from the radio talking about a faller out the back there. Clinton Wood is indeed. So is he going to break his duck? Been a long time since we've seen Clinton on the podium. He used to race a few years ago, and I think he's had to give way to Tyler Donovan, mate. Ashby up to cross the line in 3rd, ahead of Creasy, Friend, Swire, Mayer, Denyer, Wallace, Beasley's your top 10. The leaders are back coming to your view, I should think, mate.
Absolutely right. Looks like we've got a bit of breakaway 2 here. Then a 2-way battle for 3rd place between Creasy and Ashby, as you mentioned. Then it's Friend Swire. May takes a look, and there's Corey Smith just going up his inside. Then it's Andy Denyer, Sean Wallace ahead of the number 51 bike of Paul Beasley. Then it's Hayden Kilworth, number 96 up next. That's Pete Scott, the man from Basildon. And rounding out the order there is number 89, Darryl Skins. Everybody through now, and I'm looking up for our race leaders in towards Chris Curve. Then they're through the right-hander, flicking it from the right to the left, and it is Tyler Donovan leading the way, and Clinton Wood there coming under pressure now from both Morgan Creasy and Ian Ashby. I'm not sure what was put in the breakfast this morning for Ian Ashby, but he's right up there on a Triumph 955, and he is the first of the extreme.
Wow, that's a real one. You should have popped down the bookies and got a quick fiver on that one, mate. You would have definitely got good odds on that one. Work the bottom of the mountain.
Oh, we've got a retirement.
Spread out. Go, mate.
Retirement of the chicane there. Looks like he's going to be pulling into the paddock there. Potentially, is that Andy Friend, maybe? Number 258.
It'd be a great shame we haven't seen Andy for a while. Is he coming in? Or yeah, I think he might be coming in. It's hard to tell from the angle, because again, this commentary box is lacking any number of windows. It needs to be about 2 stories higher. It'd be a bit of a glass house. I wouldn't object to the heat there, but some air conditioning would be good too. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's worry about the track. And Tyler Donovan is the fastest first sector time. And wow, over the line, Tyler Donovan, mate. He means business. He's come in, tucked in tight, 43.945. So that's the first flying lap. So that tells us what the track is like. It's still a long way from being perfect. But Morgan Creasy makes up a couple of places as Clinton Wood goes back a couple. Ian Ashby also goes down 1 as well. Connor Swire making up ground. It is indeed Andy Friend who's going down the order there. Corey Smith makes up 5 places according to my sheet there. It's all chopping and changing. I wonder why. No, I won't worry about it. Smith, maybe it's just a transponder thing. There we go. Smith jumps up to 7th place there for Corey. That's all good. So Corey was a long way back. I think that could just be a transponder thing. But Tyler Donovan definitely the leader of the race by 3 seconds. What was looking like a super close race at the end of that run is now looking like a Tyler Donovan benefit, isn't it, Bradley?
Yeah, you're right there. He's already into the braking zone for Mansfield now. Here comes Morgan Creasy out of the gooseneck ahead of Ian Ashby now into 3rd place overall. First of the extreme, still ahead of Clinton Wood and Connor Swire. Now, we mentioned it a few times this year, but Connor Swire He's kind of not really been anywhere recently. I know he won't mind me saying that because he's admitted it himself to myself. But he had a great opening half of the season last year until we got to around about Pembrey, where he took the front on the warm-up lap, and we didn't really see much of him after that, to be honest. So I'm not sure what happened to Connor Swire, but we've got a retirement here as well. Hayden Kilworth looking over his right shoulder out of the gooseneck in towards Mansfield, but it could well be a retirement here for Hayden. Not quite sure, we'll have to keep an eye on it. But go on.
No, I was going to say the screen's updating. I was going to say it's good news for Jordan, but Jordan looks like he's already gone into the pits anyway. So I'm wondering if some people have gone, oh no, I'm on the wrong tyres here. So I'm going to park it because according to the screen, I'm down to, Andy Friend was showing at the very back there. So I think we could be down to as few as 14 bikes after an impressive start. Ian Ashby, get this, mate, on the Extreme Machine, the Triumph, 42.8 against the leaders, 42.9. So the fastest man on the track is the Extreme Machine in second. I genuinely wondered in the programme if some of the extremes might take the fight to the ultras. However, I would never have taken your money telling me that Ian Ashby was going to be the man to do it on that Triumph. So brilliant stuff from him. He's relegated Creasy and Wood on that particular lap. So Wood still in third place, so looking good for his first medal at this stage as Pete Scott now moves up into the 11th place. Pete, another one of my customers down there at Sports Bike Shop in Harlow. Discount available for Bemsee members, of course. Plug. And he's ahead of Daryl Skins there and Goldsmith as well. But Tyler Donovan, Matt did just speculate, and only a rough speculation. He wonders if he's on tyres that are going to wear out indeed. So that is also a factor we might have to put into this race. There's 11 laps now, this race distance. So 11 laps around here, and sure enough, get this, first sector, all of a sudden, new fastest person, Morgan Creasy, all of a sudden goes purple at sector 1, by about 1.2 seconds ahead, quicker than Ian Ashby. So I wonder if, is Morgan up to second place again?
Morgan's in second place, that's right, ahead of Ian Ashby, yeah. But I wonder what kind of power the difference is between the GSX-R1000 and the 955 Triumph.
I'm thinking we're well into double figures there. I'm thinking a good handful of double figures there as well. Right, gap over the line last time was 4.1 seconds Donovan to Ashby. This time is 2.2 seconds Donovan to Creasy as Morgan closes that gap down. He turns it a 1:40.774. So a long way from the lap record, but still the fastest lap of this particular race. Ian Ashby behind him does a 41.7. So these guys are both quicker than the leader in front of them, Tyler Donovan. And it looks like Ashby's going with Creasy there because only 0.8 of a second separating them. Clinton Wood still in third, ahead of Connor Swire by about 5 seconds there. Andy Denyer, we were thinking Andy would be right at the very sharp end, but he's still in 5th place behind Connor Swire. Then we've got, that's David May, second of the Extreme Machines, playing the championship game now, I do wonder. Sean Wallace goes past on Corey Smith as well to claim 8th. So again, that's again a timing glitch there. I wonder if those Pirellis are going to come into play there at some point. Looks like Pete Scott's gone past on Beasley as well. So Pete moving up very nicely through the field there as well after that back of the grid start.
We're coming in towards the end of sector 1, in towards sector 2 now. What's the time between Tyler Donovan and Morgan Creasy? Because I'm looking at it in towards the bottom of the mountain, and that's really closed up now with Ian Ashby looking to go with them as well.
Well, I do wonder how we're going to sort the points out here because it's now 11 laps, so it's not going to be a straight 6-6 split. It could be a 5-6 split, but I don't know which end is which. I would say we take... Oh, no, I'm not going to guess. There's no point in speculating. But the trouble is it could be a championship thing, so they've got to be very clear-cut about these sorts of things. That's the trouble with a new format, as it were, a radical format, because obviously you've got to give the points after 5 laps and then after the 11 laps. So right now, it could be that Tyler Donovan's either picking up 25 points with Morgan Creasy getting 20, or they've got another lap to sort themselves out. I have to say, if I was Morgan Creasy, I'd be hoping it's the next lap, because I reckon it's looking good for Morgan to suddenly pull a pass, because he just went 2 seconds quicker than his rival on that particular lap. The gap was down to a few tenths of a second as they get back towards you, Bradley.
Yeah, and Morgan Creasy is right on Tyler Donovan now as he comes down the back straight, then through the dip and up towards the other side, and they're almost side by side. Then Morgan has the inside line, and I think Tyler Donovan has no choice but to not let him, but he's forced to submit. And Morgan Creasy is taking the race lead, and he is your race leader.
Bradley,
Go on.
it's raining.
Oh,
I
don't
don't know
say
if you've
that.
got anything on your screen here, but my puddles here are starting to fill up again very rapidly indeed. And if we look out the window, the trouble is, I appreciate you've never experienced this, Junior, but when you're on a race bike doing 150 mile an hour down the back straight of Cadwell Park, those raindrops feel very, very heavy, very flipping quickly. So, and if you can overcome that psychology and actually take the time to look at the track, you'll be going, oh, a bit of chatter out the rain. I think it's just the marshals doing, and sure enough, Morgan is in front. So this is where it becomes, there could be 5 points difference whether on what Morgan gets in the first half or the second half. I'm thinking it was the first half that should have been declared the 5-lapper, because obviously that was after when the red flag went out.
Yep.
So, oh boy.
I'm with you on that one.
I think that would be the fairer way to do it. Now, this is going to give us an indication of where we're at. We're about 2 seconds slower in Sector 1 as far as the best times go. Everybody's obviously gone yellow. At the end of this lap, I'm expecting us to be 3 or 4 seconds away. The fastest lap we've seen so far was Morgan's 40.774. That was a couple of laps ago. Over the line they go. Oh boy, Creasy over Donovan, very close indeed. And no, they're in the 44s, 43.6 for Creasy there. So yeah, he's about 3 seconds slower than his best, because you've got to think that they're going to be riding with just that little bit of caution. But now the rain has stopped again. So, oh boy, what a head spinner this one is.
Race leaders are coming past me there, and you mentioned it was raining over your side, but throughout the course of that one, I didn't get any rain spots on the windows here. So whether it was raining over that part, but not here, it's a possibility. It's a rare one, but it's a possibility.
No, and that happens here, mate, unfortunately, because we're down in the dip here with the trees and things like that. And genuinely, where you're in the open fields, the atmospheric pressure kind of pushes the rain away. I have heard of that happening. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a few drops down here, because, again, the track is looking quite dry. It has not affected the track at all. So more of a psychological deterrent for the riders than anything, I think, could be the problem. Third place across the line, Ian Ashby still doing a brilliant job on the Extreme Machine. Oh, boy, does he get the kudos on that one. Clinton Wood still there in third. Andy Denyer hanging on to fourth in class, fifth overall ahead of Connor Squire. David May, second of the Extreme Machines, of course. Corey Smith down in sixth, in Ultras, eighth overall. Then we've got Sean Wallace at third of the Ultras at the moment, with Pete Scott moving into the top 10 as well. So that's going to be one of his best results all year. More rain, mate.
More rain.
Actually, is that looking a bit near now? Just sprinkling at the moment.
Well, I don't seem to have any drops on my side here. Looking at the window,
still got 5 laps to go as well, and the leaders are going to be coming back towards me, because according to my screen, the 800 machine is heading this way. So over the line we go. Let's have a look at the lap times as the order stays exactly the same. It was 0.3 of a second last time. It's pretty much the same this time. They're both doing 44, in fact 48.847, 44.824. So hundreds of a second in it, but around about 4 seconds slow. So actually they're going slower than their previous bests. I don't think Creasy's riding particularly conservative. I can see somebody parked up at the side of the track. They're just out of the chicane looking down what looks to be the gear linkage side of the bike. I think I know who that might be. You're going to wait until the screen catches up or fails miserably to catch up. That could be very unfortunate. It's always unfortunate to go out in a race, particularly halfway through. But the consolation prizes, of course, they would have got points for the first half of the race, because we're well and truly over that line. Ah, boy, there's lots of things in the mix this weekend, isn't there, Bradley?
Yeah, you're right there, and just to throw another spanner in the works, it's a change of the race lead there. Tyler Donovan leads the race, but Morgan Creasy goes up the inside in towards Mansfield then, so it's definitely not over at the front of this one, because Morgan Creasy on the Suzuki retakes the race lead ahead of Tyler Donovan on the number 19 Kawasaki. They're through the chicane now and heading back towards yourself there, but Ian Ashby through the gooseneck now in what has become a relatively, or a very lonely third place overall, but still first place in class.
Yeah, you're right. As far as I'm concerned, there's no change at the front, mate. It's Creasy just ahead of Tyler Donovan there, pretty much nose to tail, as they were. But obviously Donovan has shown serious intent there. Looking at the sector times into Sector 1, they were both 1 minute, 0.8 and 0.9. The fastest time we've seen through that sector is 57.8 in round terms. So we're running around about 3 seconds slower in just the first half of the track. Here we come. It's going to be side by side and stuff across the line. We're just completing lap 8 now. So over they go. Gap is down to 0.2 of a second, and we're into the 45s now. 45.7 pretty much of the pair of them. So that gives us an indication indication that there's a little bit damper out there. These guys will be feeling for every last little bit of grip that they can, and this is obviously where the main battle is, because you mentioned that Ian Ashby's having a bit of a lonely ride now. He's just going to be heading towards me in a moment, I think. There he goes, and Clinton Wood, yeah, 20 seconds back is Ian, 4 seconds back is Clinton. Connor Swire, another couple of seconds back. Andy Denyer, 5 seconds back on him. So, yeah, it is pretty much that's all she wrote at the sharp end of this field. And unfortunately, it was indeed David May who's dropping down. I think that looks like the red and white machine of David that I can see out there at the chicane. So, David, unfortunately, now the consolation prize, of course, is that he would have scored 20 points in the first half of the race. So, that is some small consolation, I guess. And I guess that's what. Oh, hang on a minute, we've lost Tyler Donovan.
No, they're through the, look, watch through the chicane now in towards the bottom of the mountain. It's Creasy from Donovan still.
No, it's all right. It's my loyal sidekick getting it wrong. Don't worry, he's learning the curse of the commentator. It's very hard to keep track of everybody. It really is. No, sorry, he was looking at the wrong bike. It's a sort of yellow bike and assumed it was Morgan, but it was actually Corey Smith. So, slight difference between the two. Not quite sure how you'd not tell those two apart. One leathers, basically. There we go. Sean Wallace has moved up a place, I'm told, yeah, ahead of Corey Smith. So Sean doing good. So yeah, I wonder if those tyres are coming into play for Corey Smith. Here we come, the leaders again. Was 0.2 of a second over the line last time. This time it's 0.2 of a second again. Those lap times 43.8 now. So a little bit quicker than we were last time. Again, we haven't seen the rain for the last minute or so, but still a long way from being a completely dry track. But if you're a tyre man, you're definitely going for dries. So leaders come back to you with just 2 laps left, Bradley.
Yeah, that's it. You just heard them go by in the background there, through the dip and up towards the other side there. Now, this part of the circuit does seem to favour Tyler Donovan, especially around Park Corner and on towards Chris Curve then, because I can watch him just about in the distance there, and Tyler Donovan almost goes out of sight behind Morgan Creasy, looking for the long way around there. This time around, let's have a look then. Morgan Creasy still has the advantage, but Tyler Donovan right there with him. They go out of sight once more momentarily, but they're back into our view now through the left of the gooseneck, and it is still Creasy from Donovan. No overtaking moves being thought about this time around, but perhaps Tyler Donovan is just weighing Morgan Creasy up for size to even think about an overtaking opportunity on the next lap, which of course will be the final lap. And Tyler Donovan, who's only taken 1 win in the Thunderbike Ultra Championship in his racing career, then looking to double that one.
Yeah, he's only been on the podium a couple of times this year as well, so he can smell that gold medal. I think this is probably the closest he's been to a gold medal. He did pick up a silver. It was Sean Goldsmith, a visiting Sean Goldsmith, who showed up at Pembrey and took the gold ahead of... wrong one. Where are we? Tyler Donovan. He picked up a silver to Morgan Creasy, funnily enough. That was Pembrey as well. It was Pembrey. But yeah, oh, he's alongside, he's gone past him. Last lap flag goes out. It's going to be the hurry up over the line they go. There's a bike length between them. Morgan Creasy's got the outside run. Oh, that's a big shot. Unfortunately, they've collided, and Creasy's gone straight on up the hill.
Yeah, I've got more here.
Tyler Donovan, fortunately, is up. He's walking away from his bike. That was as fast a crash as you're ever going to get here at Cadwell Park. Tyler Donovan is up. He's sitting on the grass, but he walked away from the bike. That was a big old getaway. Looked like Morgan, to be fair, was going to go for the outside pass. It was a clean move there. I think they just unfortunately got tangled there. There was a back marker coming into view as well, who may well have had something to do with the outcome of that race. But the yellow flags go out, but fortunately the bike is a long way up the hill. And I'm guessing that Morgan rejoined the track a bit closer to where you are, mate. Did he stay on over the bump?
Yeah, just about there. His motocross experience really coming into play there. But no, Morgan Creasy got it all in control there, and he has rejoined the track ahead of Ian Ashby, who you probably heard the distinct tone of that triple machine come past me now. But Morgan Creasy kept it all under control over the grass then and did rejoin. Connor Swire's coming past me at a relatively slow speed. They're not tucked in at all, which is strange from Connor. But Morgan Creasy through the gooseneck now then. But I did see them come very close then towards Coppice there, and they did go out of sight. But I'm glad to hear Tyler's up and okay after that one. So Morgan then looking as though he's got clear track in front of him, clear track behind him, because he's into the chicane then before the bottom of the mountain then. Ian Ashby on that Triumph number 168, down from the good now. Second place overall then after being promoted due to the demise of Tyler Donovan from this one there. Like I said, I'm glad to hear Tyler's all right after that one. And Connor Swire is up a position ahead of Andy Denyer now.
Okay, well, it's going to be a clean run then, because obviously there was a huge gap. They're literally over the line. Those two were the bike length between them is translated to 0.075, so pretty much nothing whatsoever. Obviously that collision is going to cost them both time, but obviously cost Donovan any chance of good points here. Consolation prize for Tyler. I think he will pick up. He should pick up the first win actually if we go with the 5-6 split. So Morgan Creasy comes across the line, lucky to stay upright after that moment. He comes over the line 2:06. So he lost about 25 seconds or so with that little incident. But the big news, to be fair, is going to be the second place man who comes across the line on the old Triumph 955, takes the extreme win, second overall. Hey, you can only beat who shows up, and fair play to Ian Ashby. Next across the line then, it's going to be Andy Daniel. We've lost Connor Swire. He's gone past Connor Swire on the last lap, so there you go. All that mucking about coming into the pit lanes paid dividends for Andy Daniel, second in the Ultras there on another Triumph. Clearly not a bad day to be on a Triumph, mate. There we go. There's hope for you yet. So I'm going to watch Tyler Donovan tumble down the order. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see Sean Wallace pick up second in the extremes, which is good news to him because that means he closes the gap down. In fact, that's a pair of seconds. He's now going to overtake Andy Saunders for third in the championship. This is why I'm not going to speculate too much on the points here because it's far too confusing for a bear of little brain like myself. I do know Sean Wallace picks up second place, so he's got at least 20, if not 40 points on the board there.